Hello, welcome to Boardgame Basecoats. Today we are unboxing Dive. Now this is the Japanese edition. That said, I think this one is completely languageless. There is not a single component other than the rulebook that has language on it. So now you can see here it's really packed. Whatever's in here, there's a lot of it. So that's always exciting to see. Now I can tell you I was very attracted to the game because it's very beautiful, and there was one mechanic in particular that really differentiates this game. So opening it up, wow, look at this, a multi-language component. Now this is what's called the playmat. So it says here it was just added in. Now when I saw this I thought, ooh, maybe the rulebook is multi-language too, how exciting. And then I was like, okay, yeah, well, it's a playmat, sure. Moving on. So here is the rulebook, and it of course is in Japanese. Now, there really isn't a ton to the game, other than what you're doing is you're diving, and there are these clear tiles that physically represent water. Now you can get some animal friends along the way. There is here a chieftain that can kind of serve as this fifth player or as a second player, and it shows right here how to pack it in. Ooh, all right. Let's go ahead and move right into the meat of the game. We've got punch boards. Always welcome indeed. Now, I love sea-themed games, and these look really great. There are 5 punch boards in there, so let's go ahead and get started on punching these out. Now these are the companions, and as you can see here, I'm having trouble punching out this very first sea turtle tile. So there are these companions in the rule book. Each one of these is explained. Apparently they give you some special ability. So I mean, it's nice that it's just the shapes. Here are player seashells. So these are going to serve as reminders. There's another companion. And these right here are parts of the cardboard frame. So these are the feet. Alright, so this will all go together very easily later on, because I will have assembled it by now. And yeah, it's totally fine. Now one of the things I was thinking is, will I have to take it apart again to put it back in the box? And actually no, it goes right in the box, and the insert does support it, but definitely one of the things I was thinking about as I was unboxing here. Here of course is the majority of the rest of the frame. So what the frame will do is, once you have this together, sitting at the bottom will be the ocean tiles, alright? And those will layer up. So this is a very nice component. I'm not necessarily sure if it's necessary, although with it sitting on top of the ocean tiles, I think it casts a kind of shadow, or it really does serve as a framing device that really helps you kind of see. So without this shadow around the ocean tiles, I think it's kind of harder to see what's going on. Anyway, here are bubble tokens. Those actually go with the chieftain components. There's another sea friend, the clownfish there. I do not know what any of them do at this point. And then we're going to continue to punch out more parts of the frame. But yeah, so I have tried to play the game without the frame, and with it, I actually think it's easier to see with the frame. So it might be up to you to decide how you want to do it. Moving on though, we've got the first of our diver boards. I was kind of surprised that they weren't double-sided, but that said, there is a ton of art in the game, so I really can't fault them for this. Alright, so here of course there are two guys and there are 2 girls, and you can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. Talk about that more in a bit. This is what's called the descent board, and you'll actually put your tokens on here, and then the chieftain token as well. We'll get to those when we get to those. And here are the ocean cards. So here it is, the meat of the game. And wow, are they heavy. Alright, got some protective foam. Once you have the game, I'm not sure if you keep that. I ended up throwing it away, as I do. But yeah, in this bag as well, I debated whether or not to keep it. In the end, I did decide to throw it away. But pulling these out, they do have a plasticky smell. And it's funny because as I think about, you know, card games and board games that I've had over the years, I'm surprised how many I have that actually do have clear cards like this. Anyway, all I'm doing here is punching that out. Now, this kind of made me nervous. And here's, you can see that big old piece that they decided to add in to help visibility. And it is really important to have it. So in the future, I'm thinking that I might upgrade and get maybe like a white mouse pad or something. So that's definitely something that I am thinking about getting. Now, as you can see here, I'm punching these out, and I do like punching out components, but I'll tell you what, this really made me nervous because on a punch board, okay, you might chip something and that could be a problem, but here on the plastic, you could just straight up rip them, and now you've lost a component. That said, there are a ton, just a ton of these tiles, so I'm gonna lay them out here for you, one-on-one. I really feel like maybe I can speed through it, but look at that, that's so cool. But what exactly is going on in these tiles? So obviously there are fish. Now here you see a shark, you see a manta ray. There are certain, and there's a turtle. So there are certain sea animals that do have some significance in the game. And there are some of negative significance, like the sharks, and there are some of positive. And I'm not sure how the animal friends fit into this, so I'm assuming that the animal friends, you'll get them in some way if they appear on these ocean cards. So I'm not sure at all. So I do know that the negatives are the hammerheads, like one there, the regular shark sea. Now there's a big one like this sea monster is just there for decoration, and just like the little fish are. So, and this huge, huge whale with baby whale there. So these are obscuring, but they don't have significance in the game. So actually I think that's kind of cool. So you saw there was some seaweed, there might be some other sea life on there, but really the ones to target in are the sharks, the manta rays, the hammerhead sharks, the sea turtles, and I think there was one more, but it's not immediately coming to mind. Yeah, that one was pre-punched, and it wasn't in the box. So somewhere in the factory there is a pre-punched piece of plastic. So when you punch these out, there's no reason to hang on to them. They do just get discarded, so no big deal at all. And yeah, we're just gonna roll right through these, one right after the other. So there are a ton of them. Now, one of the reasons I did pick up the game was just that idea of, wow, I am physically going to dive into this ocean. Whoa, hello, Cthulhu waking up. I'm going to dive into this ocean, and I'm going to identify the sea creatures in it. And I'm trying to avoid the bad ones and catch or hang out with the good ones. So wow, what a cool concept. So with that, we've gone through all those tiles, and let's get to the rest of the components. We have here some wooden tokens, so a big old bag of these. And let me just say, I really do like it when they do include the little what is it, the desiccant bag, or here the silica gel. Very cool. I always keep those. If the game doesn't have them, I'll always put one in, so that's really nice when they do have it. Anyway, these are the air tokens. Each player gets 5, so numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now one side is white, the other side is black. I'm not sure what the significance is there. Because it shows a shark on that side, maybe like, oops, I popped a shark, and then you'd flip it. I'm really not sure. Now this will go into an annoyance I have with the insert. Now you can clearly see there on the right side, there actually is a space for those, so we'll get into that a little bit later. Now here are the rest of the wooden tokens. These are the diver pawns, but it also includes the chieftain token. So I was confused here because there are 5 of these pawns, but only 4 players, okay? I did find out later it was the chieftains. Now here we go, we've got some player screens. Now, I mentioned earlier there's quite a bit of art in the game, so the ocean tiles, those clear tiles, have plenty of art on them. These have different art on them. This will be mine though. This one will be mine. Because it's got a manta ray on it and a shark. Are you kidding? That's the best. But each of and it's got the tentacles right there. Come on, this is made for me. But each of these is unique as well. So it's really very impressive. Now, functionally, the rulebook says that these are optional. And honestly, I don't think they obscure that much or do such a fantastic job. So I probably wouldn't play with them anyway, but they are there. It's because of the shape of the diving boards. I think if they were square, it might make more sense with these, but because they're long, I don't know that they do a great job. Anyway, these are the village chief cards. Okay, so the village chief, he kind of works as an automa. So if you're playing solo, it would actually be you versus the village chief, or the village chief can be a 5th player. Okay, now I'm saying that and kind of thinking, oh man, with my playthroughs I usually go with a 4-player count, and if there's a 5th, so spoilers here, I did make a Fury of Dracula playthrough while I was moving. I'm working on it now, it's coming at some point. But yeah, a 5th player, I'll usually have it. So when I do the playthrough, I will be playing with the chief, or maybe not. So he is an option. He's not really a necessary component at all. So I may keep things sane and just stick with the 4 players. But as I'm looking at this, okay. So what it is with your wooden tokens, your air tokens, you are selecting how deep you are going. So this deck of cards serves that function for the chief. All right, so that's its purpose. So let's talk about this insert, folks. So in the instruction book, it does show how to pack everything. I don't think that's really necessary. I think it's pretty clear how everything goes in here. And yes, as I said, the constructed frame will go in there. So you can see the 4 corners there for the feet. I mean, it's fine. It works. And, you know, some people might think, oh, well, maybe this is part of the fun too, is putting away the game. Guys, that's not fun for me. No. What I like is when I open a board game and I have all the components separated for each player. I can say, hey, here's your stuff. Open it. Check it out. That's an ooh-ah factor for them. And while they're looking at that, I can set up the game. But in this one, if you use this insert, okay, so here are the air tokens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each player. I do not want to open it up, dig these out and say, hey, you know, everyone pull out your 5. And then there are the diver tokens, okay, everyone choose one of those. And then on the opposite side of the board will be the seashell tokens, okay, everyone get your matching seashells. No, what I like to do, I open the box. Bag, 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 bag. Okay, pick your bag. And there you go. We're good. It's just so much faster. I like a game where I can just get in there, because every board game inherently has a problem, and that is teaching it. Guys, that rules explanation takes time, and so digging around for components, and yeah, this does a pretty good job, but still, anything I can do to streamline that process is a step that I will take, absolutely. In fact, often what happens is, okay, we have a quick setup, and then when the game is over, I'll just say, hey guys, if please, you know, put away the components. But there's been situations where it's been like, all right, we're gonna move on to another game, and I just, hey, leave the stuff there. And because I do play with children often, that's often what I will say. I will say, oh, you know what? Nope, just leave everything on the table. Don't even put anything away. I will take care of it. Oh, and here's where I'm deciding, okay, whether or not to use this foam. So I will tell you right now, I am using the insert right here as I rebox everything, kind of as a reference for you, how you want to kind of imagine yourself doing it. I did not put together the frame right here, so I'm not sure how that would work. So I'll tell you right now that that foam would be gone, so it would be right there. But for me, no, I already know that this insert is gone. Now, if you look at the cards there in the top right corner, it looks like even sleeved they would fit. So that's usually my criteria, but sorry, even this, see, I'm keeping this thing because I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. Even this pretty good insert, nope, I already know it's not going to work out for me. Anyway, I'm glad that you stopped by and checked out. Oh, you can see it sits flat. Thanks a lot. Bye.